Efua's Midsummer Adventure in Sweden. Efua, a curious and bright young woman from Ghana, had always dreamed of traveling to Sweden. She had been imagining snowy landscapes, beautiful lakes, and peaceful people for many years. Firstly, her wish finally came true when she received an admission offer to study linguistics and literature at a university in Sweden. When she arrived, everything felt new and exciting. She started her classes and was quickly adjusting to her environment. Moreover, the people at the university were kind and welcoming. During her second week, Efua met two Swedish classmates, Lena and Eric. They sat beside her in class, and soon enough, they became friends. At the time, they were working on a group project together and were chatting about books and language traditions. One afternoon, while they were discussing the assignment, Eric mentioned the upcoming Midsummer Festival. "It's a very special time in Sweden," he said. "We celebrate light, nature, and summer." Efwa listened with great interest. Subsequently, they invited her to join them at Eric's grandmother's house in the countryside for the celebration. Efwa happily agreed. On the morning of the festival, they packed their bags and drove to a quiet village filled with green fields and flowers. While Eric was driving, Lena was singing a traditional Swedish song. The sun was shining brightly, and the warm breeze was blowing through the car windows. In addition, birds were chirping, and the trees were swaying gently. When they arrived, people were already preparing for the event. Some were setting up long wooden tables in the garden, while others were decorating the maypole with flowers and leaves. Furthermore, children were running around happily with flower crowns on their heads. Efwa joined in the excitement. Lena helped her wear a white summer dress and placed a flower crown on her head. While Lena was adjusting the flowers, Eric was taking pictures and was laughing. "Now you look like a real Swede," he said. Later, everyone gathered for the meal. Efwa tasted new foods such as pickled herring, smoked salmon, potatoes with dill, and strawberry cake. While she was eating, she noticed an older woman smiling at her. The woman sat down beside her and started explaining the history and meaning of the festival. She said that midsummer was about celebrating nature and togetherness. Efua was listening carefully and at the same time was thinking about her own traditions in Ghana. Subsequently, she began a conversation with Lena and Eric about Ghana's Homowo Festival, which also celebrates nature and community. During Homowo, Efwa explained, people prepare special meals, gather as families, and share stories and laughter. It also happens outdoors, just like this. Lena nodded. "That's beautiful," she said. "We may live far apart, but our traditions are very similar." They continued comparing their cultures. While Efua was describing the traditional Ghanaian food, Eric was sharing more stories about his childhood midsummer celebrations. They all agreed that food, family, and fun were central to both cultures, even if the climate and traditions were different. Later, while the sky was still glowing with light, even though it was almost midnight, she met another student named Sophia. They started talking about travel, music, and nature. Soon, they were planning to go hiking and visit a nearby lake together. Finally, when the celebration was winding down, people were lying on the grass, were watching the sky, and were sharing stories. Efua sat quietly and reflected on the day. She felt thankful. She had not only learned about a new culture, but also shared her own with pride. Efwa was realizing that this experience was changing her. She was making new friends, was discovering similarities between people from different places, and was feeling more confident in herself. That night, as she was falling asleep in the cozy guest room, she knew that this was only the beginning of many more adventures to come.